Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading. This is your weekly analysis for the Euro US dollar. The date is January 12th, 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all of our weekly Euro US dollar analysis videos, make sure you click that red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. So, as you can see here, my sentiment is bearish on the euro dollar. However, we see prices stuck in a short-term price wedge. So we've got this ascending trend line back from October, which has been pretty fierce, right? A lot of new highs. We saw a new high just the other week up to 1235, 1240 area, but then it was quickly rejected. And last week we saw Friday was pretty bullish, right? We saw a big bullish candle happen Friday. However, if we look at this chart, we can see that price didn't really achieve anything significant. Still below the shadow tail of this candle just the week prior, closing right below. And so what we've got is this week's pivot points here. Our weekly pivot is $11.36. We see price riding right below it. So in the big picture, if we zoom out a little bit, we can see this descending trend line goes way back. And when you look at the recent uptrend in comparison to this very long multi-year downtrend, this looks kind of like small fry, right? It looks very not significant. So we've got, however, we could see price continue up on this line if we saw a sustained break above, I'm going to say this 1150, and so we could see a test of weekly R1 at 1186. The question would be then, if price did move out of this triangle and push up, would it stay there or would it get quickly rejected once again? The other scenario is that price hangs out below this triangle. It might move a little bit above the pivot point, but then get a sell. And if we see a sell here, this should be a pretty sustainable, pretty substantial breakout, at least down to this 1060 level. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And this is our 4 hour. We see a real big 4 hour on Friday there with the recent jobs data. And now we've got price in this wedge. So we need to be careful when price moves in a wedge. A lot of erratic price action can happen, right? A lot of ups and downs. And you gotta be careful that you stick to your guns there, because that's a great way to lose money. I lost a few pips on Friday when I saw price kind of shoot below this triangle here, right? I thought, oh, here comes the big sell, as I've been bearish in this pair for a while, and then jobs data push it right back up. So then I quickly got out of that position, right? So lost a few pips, but if you look in this big picture, it's really hasn't proven anything. So price, we can see price go in this range for the rest of the month possibly. This is the 4 hour. We look at our dates down here. Today's the 12th, so we can see that technically price could stay in that wedge for another couple of weeks, right? But if price doesn't make a big bullish, some moves, and price action doesn't really start stacking up here, the overall predominant trend is bearish. So let's go ahead and apply our moving averages. I'm going to remove that wedge, so now we can look at this. But anytime there's a price wedge, you have to be really careful, because it means the two sides of the trend are within very close proximity, all the buyers and sellers, and that causes some real rapid action. And you can lose some money, so be careful. Just remember that whether you're a bearish or bullish trader, that you want to make sure you get in on the dip of the rally, right? So by the time something makes the news, the trend's usually already over, right? The price change has already happened, and if you get in then, you're going to miss it or only make a few dollars. What you really want to do is be buying and selling the dips and rallies to make the big cash. So we see here, these are our three moving averages. We got a 20 and a 15 and 200. And we see price even though it ricocheted off this 50, is still moving below the fast and still moving below this 200-day moving average, right? So that's the big one. Let's go ahead and look at historically at this 200, this green line, and that pretty much tells me all I need to know, that price has been moving underneath this for a couple of years, and certainly price has declined the entire time. And even though we have had some highs peak up, they're always lower highs, which by trend theory is a downtrend. And when we see price come up and touch and go above, right, so that's what did summer of 2019, we saw price go above the 200 for a few days. And then once it moved below, we saw that price fell from $1.33 all the way to $1.09. We've got price moving below that again, and we could see our next big down, big downtrend move here. So let's go ahead and look at our weekly, and let's just see what that would look like. All right, so let's say I'm looking at this. This is my weekly descending channel, right? That tells me a lot. And if I'm looking for the next move down, I'm going to think about this. Let's look at the next big support. Okay, we've got support there at $1.09. And that goes all the way back through 2015. So if we're using, this is the weekly chart, we got our weekly candles, and if we see further declines, the first stop in the big picture will be about $1.09. So it's a couple hundred pips from where we currently are. Once price breaks out of here, that'll be a huge move, potentially all the way down to $1.04. So in order for something like that to happen, we've got to have some major league fundamentals. Now, all the Euro data that's been coming in recently has been really good. However, you've got Brexit happening. It's official. It's going to happen at the end of this month. And separating the UK from the European Union, which will affect the currencies for both of those countries in some fashion. The Euro-Pound charts to see some serious heat. I'm curious to see which way it goes. Now, I don't have access, I can't see the future. I don't have access to all the financial data. All I can do is go with the trend and do what the other traders are doing so I can make money. That's the end of the day. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make money. So the trend is your friend. That's an old saying that holds true. So for euro dollar, bearish for this week. Happy trading. If you want to get updates on all of our Euro US dollar videos, make sure you click subscribe, and we'll talk soon.